Hi, everybody. Okay, I just saw Nicole and Amanda over there. Hi, you all. It's so good to see you. Um, oh my goodness, my heart's so full seeing you all. Okay, great. Hi. So cool. I'm so happy to be here with you. Oh wait, I have this muted. There we go. No, it's not muted. All right. All right. I want to hear a little bit from you all. I want to connect and touch base and see how you're feeling. So it's been 1 week. Where are you at? How are you feeling? Go to the chat box and just give me a little jot down of kind of where you're at in the trainings, how you're feeling, and also, so three things. Three things. Where are you at in the trainings? How are you feeling so far with everything you're learning? Like, what are some of your takeaways? And three, and I can write these down as well. What's going on in your work right now? Thank you. It's a dress. One of my friends gave this to me. One of my friends actually gave this to me. Um, it was my quitting my job, becoming an entrepreneur gift. And this was a friend who was a big expander for me. It was my first entrepreneur friend. And yeah, before her, I didn't know that it was really possible to do, yeah, like she was really doing work that she loved in a powerful way. And I always like saw someone like that as separate from me, as like something that I know this dress has been around for a while. I wear it a lot. I always saw that as separate from me. And then I became friends with someone who was doing that. And I was like, wait a second. Like, you mean you're like a real life person who is like navigating challenges and uncertainty, but you're just like really brave and just showing up consistently? Okay, I can maybe do that. Um, yeah. So, yeah, it's from 2018. 2018 is when it's from. All right. Okay. Yeah, so those three things. Where are you at in the trainings? How, like, what's landing for you so far? And then what's going on right now in your work? Okay. So we've been tapping into the vision, but I want to know where you're at right now. Right now. I'll give you a minute to type. Yay. All right. Okay, we're just having Jenny come in. I'm gonna repeat these things one more time while everybody's typing. Hi, Jenny. We're just getting settled in. So three things. One, in the chat box, where are you at in the trainings? What's landing for you so far? And where are you at in your work and in your business right now? Okay, I'm gonna start reading these. In the first exercise, which is where I landed, we did our big vision. I wrote down the reoccurrence of the desire for an in-person space and the most aligned space. What? Fine. We're all okay. Everyone's okay. Hold on. We're okay. That's insane. Okay, without you even looking, it's a major growth edge to invest financially at this time. Yeah, but like you owned it and it was like, here you go. Wow. That's magic. I can't even. That's magic. I can't even. Okay. I've done the pre-work and the first call, looking forward to the rest of the practices. Going to move through them in the coming weeks. Yay. Okay. Both feeling inspired and getting more depth around what I'm offering while also having some challenging beliefs patterns come up to be witnessed and move through. Me too. Classic. It's fine. It's good. We're good. Yup. It's only like I like yeah, I know. I'm like I was in like a really kind of like the last couple months I was in more of a like chill like posting energy, which I like. Yeah, I'm not the kind of business coach that feels like you constantly have to be building. I'm also a fan of like enjoying your fruit and like resting when you need it, etc. And don't believe that like coasting is wrong. Um because I was also sick for 2 of those months. And so, well, not, I was sick, really sick for one of the months. And then another month I was just chilling. And another month I was also just chilling. Yeah. So, yeah. And I've like like I've had more energy coming back the last couple of weeks. So I've been like showing up in my work more and like, engaging with my vision and engaging with the work and engaging with like more growth energy. And yeah, I for sure it's like it's a pretty consistent like, ooh, there's an edge, ooh, there's a fear, ooh, there's a past pain, ooh, and again, like we talked about this in the first call, I've just seen so much again and again that that's that's the work. It's not about transcending these things. It's not about like our business is a path of healing in itself. And on, I know we're at different parts in the trainings. On the training that I did, not the one yesterday, but the day before, it's the video of me when I'm camping. I talk about like right relationship with healing. So that can be, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's never, I mean, I know you know this, Nicole, because I know Nicole very well at this point. Um, we've even been on retreat together and everything. So yeah. But I mean, I know for me, so whoever needs to hear this, I had this idea that one day those things would go away or they'd, you know, like things do, I feel like loops do close, cycles do complete, but as we're still going, there's always going to be like little things to go back and work with or new things that come up. Okay. I'm reviewing the big vision, the things I've devoted time to, and still seeing what to move forward with versus not. Love that. Love that. Seeing what my capacity is this year and with my current energy levels, what makes sense, and maybe how to link things together to create monetary offerings. Yeah, love that. I did the big vision and I listened to the second training about illusion truth. The big vision really helped me to understand my timelines and my whys. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad. I could really see that from your share too. I really liked how you took like each individual thing and broke it down into like, oh, well, this feels like a sooner vision and this feels like a later vision. That's really helped me a lot as well because um I noticed for me, I had a bit of like wanting to jump to some of the later, like the bigger later things. But yeah, okay. Does this resonate with some of us sometimes? Like it was like an avoidance tactic of actually implementing and doing the things that were right in front of me and taking care of what was right in front of me that would offer the support to the things down the road. And it's also sometimes more vulnerable to do the thing that's right in front of you. And I can give an example of that. Like right now, my timeline for, I'll say two different things. So there are a couple books that I'd like to write, like three at this point, and then also a nonprofit that I want to create. And I could see those happening, those books, me like publishing a first book. I could see them in the next year or two, honestly, and I could see the nonprofit getting going in the next year or two. But for the next couple months, the things that I really need to focus on, I have some space in my recurring offers, like my current offers that I've already created. I have space in them. And yeah, that will help with those things because it's like supporting my recurring revenue. It's helping me to be able to, get more support. Like I'm onboarding some extra team support and all of that kind of stuff. And it also like keeps those spaces full and alive. And so for me, it's a little more vulnerable to be like, okay, now I have to work on selling these spaces. I have to talk about these spaces. I have to be in this kind of more like completion energy of working with what's already here versus being like, let me jump and create the new thing, the fun, sexy new thing, right? So that's something that I think as visionaries, as people who have these like big ideas and expansive creativity, and we're like, I could literally sit down and create 20 offers, 50 books, like, a nonprofit. I could create an art business. I could create a consulting business, all these kind of things. You're like, I could have a farm, like whatever. I could do it all. It's important for us to be able to have this skill of also being with like the less sexy skills of the tending and the completion and the like looking at, okay, what is the gap that needs to be filled? What's the place that's really asking for that tending and that support? What's like, and when we talked about the 6 nutrients of a thriving business ecosystem, if you hadn't gotten to that yet, you will. That gives you that clarity to be like, actually, my financial organization is struggling, or I'm behind on like my bookkeeping or whatever it is. Like that needs some support. Or maybe I'm noticing like I'm not really showing up to like expand my connections with people, my content, my visibility. That could use more support. It really shows what areas to tend to so that you have that clarity and you can take this big vision, right, of like all these different things and actually be gradually implementing, moving towards them by working with what's the next thing, right? This is one thing I wanted to talk with you about is obstacles and challenges and friction and resistance. And a lot of times that is a big flashing red light indicator of a place that we can put some energy and some nurturing, right? I really like to approach things from a place of thinking about less about like being in this fixing mindset or like something's wrong, but instead seeing it as this being, this life that we are nurturing, that we are giving life to, that we are pouring energy into. And the things that we avoid, the things that are challenging, right? The things that feel frustrating, it's so important for us to tune into them and to spend some energy there working with it and looking at what's going on internally with me there. Why do I have so much resistance? Moving through practices like the practice that I shared with you all last week. Implementing things that will support it, right? If these are like a lot of times it's an internal and external, right? Doing both the internal and the external work to start working with it, changing our patterns around it, changing our behaviors, being like, okay, the me that was struggling with this maybe was an avoidance or was like clinging or whatever it is. And I'm going to actually take a breath here and choose a new way of operating and create that habit and that pattern. And it really starts to close those gaps, the places where we leak energy, the places where or energy is just like kind of tied up in this ball of resistance. It frees it and it gives us the space to breathe and to move and to create. And it gives like, I really see, again, like I talked about this in one of the trainings, one of the earlier ones, about how the flow that happens in business is so often like any flow that you see in life, whether it be water or any sort of life force, doesn't just go away. It turns into something else, right? And so in our business, that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're learning how to do, is to channel and flow energy through ourselves and also through the different channels of your business, whether that be money coming through your different money portals, like being organized into different reservoirs, whether that be your personal business accounts, investments accounts, being steered towards investments that are going to support your growth and the growth of the business, how to create like channels that are going to support your clients, whether that be onboarding or offboarding processes, things that support your team. That's one of the things that I'm working with right now, is creating a better structure and support around my team, because I really, yeah, in order to do the things I like to do, I need I need help. So we're always looking at both the balance, like the yin and the yang of the the flow of energy and the structure and the support of that flow, right? And so a really great way to work with expansion and work with growth is looking at those areas. And sometimes people focus on one versus the other. A lot of times, I don't know if it's my Libra nature or like the fact that I'm both an engineer and like a like mystic philosopher, but I'm really good at balancing both. That's one of my skills. That's one of my very natural skills. And so I see a lot of times people will fluctuate one way to the other, where they'll be very focused on the energetics, but less focused on the structure. And then it causes like they're heavily having to like energetically, like work with themselves and practice and do this and that. But some structure, some support, some stability, some like groundedness, some repeatability, all of those things could help. Or people lean to the other direction and they get really focused on the structure and the system and the content plan and the funnels and all that stuff, but then they like don't have a connection to their life force. They don't feel a connection to their creativity, and they feel like either way it gets to be draining, overwhelming, all of that kind of stuff. So we want to be able to balance both. Okay, so let me keep reading here. I did the big vision and listened to the second training about around illusion. Oh, wait. I already done this one. Okay, it came through really clear that I have to make some big decisions in relationships today as well as in the last days. And I really felt overwhelmed. Yeah, it can be a lot. I'm now anchoring into the vision fully and realizing which people I want around me and which I do not. Yeah, that's really powerful. I also will share too, so I'm just going to kind of like teach a bit to what I'm seeing from you all here, and then we'll get into our Q&A portion and our coaching. Yeah, so I remember one of the first times I had this experience where I had hired someone. It was the first person I ever hired, and I started to know, okay, this isn't actually working out, right? And it was just like a big learning lesson in who I need to hire, right? And so I started to feel some stagnancy in my business. And I had this conversation around letting them go, which was really hard, and then took a nap after. And of course, it was like emotionally taxing all of that. The conversation went well, but like for me, it was a big step and it was challenging. And I took a nap after, and I was doing a launch at the time, and I hadn't had any sales for a couple days. It was like feeling slow. And then I woke up from the nap and someone had like signed up for an offer while I was napping. And I've seen this over and over again where like, I think I shared it in one of the trainings. I had a client who had space in some of her offerings, made some big boundaries with some family members, and within a week, after 2 months of crickets, within a week, filled those spots. And so all of these things that like, I think for all of us who are sensitive and we can see patterns and see interconnectedness, we understand that like, okay, these things are deeply interconnected. And it's not just about like creating more success, it's about holistic success. Yeah, and all of it gets to support each other. Yes, so this will not be deleted. This will be here, so you'll have access to everything. Okay, I'm looking at energy leaks currently. Really resonate with the section about activating your heart of service and illusion to truth practice. Great. Yeah, those are some of my favorites. I mean, those are ones that I do very frequently. Had a powerful moment of connecting greater to how my work is of service and had an idea come up for my next collection. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. Oh my gosh, these are all so good. Also did the heart of service practice. Yay. Okay, that selling the space is the hardest for me too. Yeah. Um, resonate with that as well. I want to be in a cocoon of creation. Yeah. Just be in the scribbles. Just let's just stay in the scribbles forever, you know? Okay, chapter of completion. Love that. All right. Okay, you all. So, my plan today with you all is to just hear from you and to give you all some support. So, for anyone who's new to my coaching, how I like to do this is a blend of it's co-creative. So it's not completely led by you, it's not completely led by me. It's, like you can bring up things like I have a specific question around this or I want to work specifically around this. Sometimes clients will come to these kind of calls where we're doing coaching and they're just like, "Oh, I don't really know what to talk about. So I'm just going to do a ramble and we'll find little things to work with." And sometimes there's, especially for clients in long-term spaces, sometimes it's just like celebration. So that's good too. But, you all are, a lot of you are newer to, like, we're not in a container together. So yeah, I'm sure we'll get into things to work with. So there's one, two, three, four, five, six of you here. So yeah, let's try to keep it to about, we're gonna like also just, yeah, we'll keep it to about 10 minutes each. So my ask in terms of that is that we both kind of track it, right? We want to reach a place of completion, right? And not just like be like 10 minutes, you're done. Like cut the mic, play the music, get off the stage, like not that kind of thing. But we do want to have it contained and clear. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, everything is welcome. Whatever you want to bring forward, whatever you feel like. I really encourage you again to work with what you feel like would most benefit you right now. Like what do you most need support with? Okay. And nothing's off limits. All right. So who feels like they are ready to go first? All right, Nikki, let's go for it. Let's do it.
Okay, how crazy with the like manifesting this office space. Oh my God. So that is like my biggest thing right now that I didn't know was gonna happen. And I'm like, okay, I have a digital product coming out. I put this in the Q&A, just like because I am great at creating, I'm great at space holding, I'm a healer, I'm a space holder.
Mm-hmm.
I, the selling triggers my wounds more than anything. My wounds the shadow of like the doubt part coming in that I met last week in the meditation where it's like this part that when my sales content doesn't get response and or my reach drops, my parts are like I'm not being responded to and then I contract. So holding my energy in that is like my biggest work around selling. And so, because when I'm in that contracted state, I don't sell. I'm at a point where I can still show up to social media every day and continue selling, but my energy is too contracted to actually make the sales. So that's where I struggle. And so I think that there's also like a somatic threshold within like the price of the offer. And so right now I'm doing a digital product that's low ticket. So I'm very curious to see how my energy feels and how my nervous system feels with like a $33 offering instead of a $777 coaching container. But I'm almost done. I'll be done this week with the finished product, and it is like a life-changing product, in my opinion. It's an ebook and a workbook that is basically my group program, my high ticket group program in a book. Like, and I want it to be a funnel into my group container and deeper mentorship with me. So it's going to be, I think, $33. It's well over 100 pages. There's a whole attunement section, there's a mental body section, a physical and somatic body section, and then an energy body section. And it's just massive. It's so impactful. So I thought I was going to charge 22, but now I'm like, I think it's just too big for 22. I think I can do 33, but then immediately my system contracts. No, no one's going to buy it for 33.
Okay. Let me also, I'm like, there we go. I found you. I found you. I'm going to look at your account.
Okay.
And just for reference too, if you all ever see me like writing, it's because I take notes when I'm listening to you all, or like looking over here, it's because I like to look at people's social media sometimes when we're doing this. Okay, great. Okay. Yeah. I think that price feels really good.
The
I'm
33.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's like for an ebook and a workbook, I mean, there's a range of what people can charge for it, but you're like, cool, I do want to, you're saying like it's there's a couple of factors that go into it, right? There is a like we don't want to price from like a wound or like a fear or like a no one's going to pay this or whatever. But low ticket, it is a strategic thing of more people accessing the work. Easy,
Hmm.
people who are interested but don't want to fully commit yet to a larger ticket thing. Like for those of us who value accessibility as well, like being able to get the work into more hands. So I think this is a really good balance point, and you can always change it at some point if you're like,
Yeah.
actually, I want to be 44. You can always do that. But it's a good balance point of both you being like, actually, I'm gonna take up a little more space here. I'm gonna I'm gonna like believe in the work a little more and the value a little more, and at the same time be honoring what the point of this offering is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah, so my hope is that that can like settle something where you're like,
Hmm.
okay, cool, this is clear, this feels really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, with the selling piece, I mean, your content's great. Yeah, your content's great. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Okay, so let's talk about the internal work and the external work for it. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, I always, always, always believe that the inner work comes first.
Hmm.
So, because like you're saying, you can go through the motions. You can go through the motions. It's Nikki Ivory healing. Oh, you typed it out. Great. Um, you can go through the motions of everything, but it'd be like numb or really contracted, or there's like zero belief behind it. So when that's happening, right, it's like you're saying, you're noticing it. And this isn't wrong. And it's also not like one thing that really helped me was that it is important to work with it. It is important to work with it. And just because I'm having a moment or a day where I'm like, I don't believe in myself and I'm sad and I feel like a like sorry sack of a business owner, like whatever it is, whatever's coming up, right? Whatever it is, whatever those little tender pieces are. And it's like, cool, I have to work with these. But it doesn't necessarily mean like I also work with that because I'm committed to my healing. I'm committed to my growth. I'm committed to my energy. But
Hmm.
that does not mean that I can't make a sale that day. It doesn't mean that I have to get to a certain healed point before the sales can start coming in. So there's
Hmm.
this like duality happening where I'm working with myself, I'm working with my energy, I'm tending to my energy because that's important and it does support my business. But my business gets to also be successful because this work is good, because people want to pay for these offerings, because yeah, this is valuable, important work, and there's like a true reciprocity here.
Hmm.
Does that do you like, do you feel any
Hmm.
softening from
Yeah, yeah. And that's the nature of my work is like working with that energy. Like I'm a somatic energy healer and I do parts work, I do somatic parts work, I do quantum parts work. So like I'm just always doing that. And I
yeah,
think that it's always helpful for me to hear from someone who's also doing it that like I'm doing enough. I'm doing that that's enough. Like I just it'll happen. Just, continuing to meet those parts, meet that energy, softening and unraveling it while also still showing up, it will happen.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're always going to be like our first test subject. I feel like we have to be the best embodiment of our work,
Hmm.
and continue working whatever it is that we're here to share. Like that's why, you know, the facilitators, the people who are here to be in this like creative energy, it comes through us because it is us, right? It's like what we do, it's who we are, it's what we've lived, it's what we value. You know what I mean? So again, that like, yeah, that balance of it gets to be both. It gets to be cool. I'm going to keep doing the work because that's what I do. That's what I live. That's who I am. And it's not like one thing that helps me really soften frequently, and this applies to inner work, this applies to business, is again, this like I get to nurture things and take care of things, and that is helpful, but there's no getting it right. There's no like, I have to do all of these things first. I have to fix all this stuff because otherwise we would just have a list of a billion things and never actually never actually get anywhere with it, right? So there's like a softening and there's an allowing yourself to be supported.
Hmm.
Somatically, you can feel outside of yourself, oh, I feel the deep value and the richness of this work. I feel the world like moving towards me.
Hmm.
I feel the clients who will benefit from this moving towards me. I feel them also supporting this business, supporting this work, supporting me. And I feel that reciprocity.
Hmm.
I feel their interest. I feel their visit, like them looking at me. I feel
Yeah.
them being interested in my offers. I feel them being like, I want to pay for this. I feel them getting out their card and signing up for this and being like, what a blessing this ebook is.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
want to go deeper.
Yeah.
So there
Yeah.
might be just like working with the contraction, the closing, the
Hmm.
like there's something wrong or like
Hmm.
something to clear, but also working with the like
Yeah.
and
Right. It's like the and that I like wasn't able to see in my last launch a couple weeks ago with my group program. It was like it was just doubt and then like blankness. But there is so much evidence to kind of orient myself to of the support you're speaking. So now I even have that to kind of like hold in my vision
yeah.
as I'm also meeting the doubt. It's like, okay, and what's actually true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
keep
helpful.
working with that strategically. I believe that sales get to be really, really simple.
Okay.
It's just offering invitations again and again and again
Okay.
in different ways.
Hmm.
So literally every single one of these posts that you're doing, you could talk about it. You can
Hmm.
include a statement at the end or somewhere in the middle that says if you want to go, if you're resonating with this and you want to go deeper, there's a link to a $33 offer or like, comment this word, whatever
Hmm.
it is, however you want to do it. Like, again, there's no right or wrong way with this, but these are options that you get to feel out.
Yeah.
You could put this in every single piece of content because you could be selling this for like the next year.
Hmm.
You could be selling this for the next couple years.
Hmm.
This could be one of those things that this is like the front of what you're selling, and then you talk about it a billion different ways. Whether it be talking about your experience, storytelling, talking about, like a client case study, talking about like showing like how this works, giving a taste of it, like a little micro practice, and
Mm.
you know, whether it be in stories or in a reel or whatever. There's so many different ways you can be doing it, but basically it's like that same, it feels like a similar energetic like imprint happening of like feeling closed off. And so there's an opening of just being like, here's my invitation.
Mhm.
Here's my invitation. Here's what it is. Here's why it's so valuable. I love it so much. This is so powerful. Here's the invitation. And then you trust them to do their part, which is saying yes, identifying this is going to help me, getting out their credit card, signing up, going through the work, you know, letting it land, and then taking next steps.
Mhm. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah, I
really,
want this to fund my office space. I'm gonna take the plunge. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna probably do it for April 1st. So I think that this will help me with that.
yeah. These offers, especially for deep work, they, yeah, they're really powerful. And I've seen and I've experienced low ticket offers bringing in a lot of money.
Okay. Cool. That's good to know too. Because I just did like a business mentorship for 6 months and they were just like very much pushing the high ticket. And I'm like, I just don't feel like my nervous system's ready for the high ticket yet. And I'm glad that I did it anyway because the high ticket, my coaching program is what turned into this digital guide.
Yeah.
So I can see like how it's, but yeah, I think that the low ticket for me is gonna be like really helpful.
Yeah. I really feel like, I mean, there are so many different ways to set things up, right? People can do high ticket only. People can do, I've seen people make like, I, I know someone who made it almost $1 million in a year from a $15 offer. They didn't
Wow.
have a ton of followers, but you never know. Your content could blow up tomorrow. You could have a reel get 1 million views, and you talk about that offer in there, and next thing you know, you had like 500 signups come from that. You never know. Like there's so many different things that could happen. It's kind of like how, you know, how this space just came in for you.
Yeah.
But if you feel called to do a low ticket offer, my experience has been it's really helped for my higher ticket spaces. People be like, it helps build trust and it helps people be like, yes, this work does benefit me. And so
Mm.
once they're in my higher ticket spaces, they're already like they're like right fit clients.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um Also, I mean, again, like my business for a while, I haven't been doing low ticket stuff as much right now, but there was a while where I was bringing in about $10,000 a month just from like
Yeah.
under $100 offers.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm striving for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good.
Okay,
You're good.
cool.
Do follow what you feel called to do.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Nikki. So happy you're here. Okay. Who feels ready to go next?
I can go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello. Oh gosh, there's so much. So I recently just quit my cubicle hellscape job.
It wasn't
And
that bad.
um I mean,
It was also really good, a
I
good job in a lot of ways.
yeah.
it was a lot of staring at computers and just so
When
much. It was
you're in
like
it and you're
pulling a
done
lot
with
of,
it, it gets I get that. I had like a good engineering job, but by the end of it, I was like, I am dying here in this
yeah.
cubicle. I understand.
Yeah, just like the sitting for 8 hours and staring at screens and emailing constantly it was too much. And anyway, so I am a photographer, and for those of you who don't know, and um, really focus on embodied photography and like experiences for people to be witnessed instead of this like awkward experience of like, oh God, what do I do with myself? Like I really try to get people in their bodies and to incorporate a lot of ritual and ecosomatic, like nature, and that is like my just dream, to be able to do this. And also we run a women's circle a couple times a month. And I also run a song circle, and like singing has really come into my life recently, but that's not, I don't really feel like that's gonna maybe make me money, or maybe it will be more like lucrative. But I guess my question is like I do all these other things. Um, and so I'm just wondering, like, should I, is it bad to like show that I'm doing all these other things, or can I just have it all in one place? Or like, because I've never really like showed up as a facilitator in online spaces. It's really just like in person and community. And so I'm also just like, how the fuck do I do this? Like, how do I just like turn on the camera and do things? Because I feel more comfortable just being like, this is my art, and if you like it, hire me. So yeah, yeah, good question.
Okay, I love this. I'm really happy for you. And
Thank you.
also helps because I've actually experienced your work, so like I know. You know what I mean? Like that explanation was for everybody else. Um, yeah, I mean, if anything could work, what would you, how would you envision your yourself getting paid?
Well, I think my real passion lies in helping, practitioners, healers, people who are in the local community doing amazing things, because that in and of itself has such an impact and a ripple effect, being able to, you know, have these awesome small businesses thriving and doing well, and being able to like attract more clients with amazing photos of themselves that are professional and go deeper than just like an awkward brand photo shoot of them pulling something stiffly. It's like, so I think that that's what I really have to offer, is like being able to show the depth of people's offerings and what they're here to offer. And that's how I would love to bring in revenue, is supporting other businesses and healers and artists. And
So, are you ready to be a little vulnerable? Not right now, but just in general, all the time.
yeah.
Okay, great. Your work is clear, okay? Your offering is solid and your skill is there. Again, I know this because I've experienced it. I've had one of your shoots, and what you just said of like, I would love for you to go back to this recording, write this down, and be like, cool, this is my client and this is my message. And this is what's going on the sales page. And this is what I'm going to promote. And this is going
hmm
to be your starting place, right?
hmm
It's these sessions, and that might evolve and shift over time. But again, like, I think that this offering, and we can just like get it even more clear and even more like really landed of who this is for and what it's for, is yeah, you working with, like you're saying, these like powerful facilitators, healers, people who have a lot to give. They need photographs. They need something to share. They want, and they don't just like need it, but they want to have a place to express and a place to be witnessed, right? And there's also such power in like, yeah, your sessions have like, I mean, I shared with you, like, I mean, you have a video testimony from me, right? Put it on a sales page,
Yeah.
post it. I don't know. Like, you have that. You have those, like, start collecting things like that. Start sharing about like the depth of what this is, and like own it and express it. Because I had a very powerful experience. Like a part of me that was hurt from domestic violence healed in that session, girl. Come on now. And so there has to be this courage and bravery, and like it's also a centeredness of just saying this is what the work is. And what you said is very true. Like you're just like, cool, this is what I love to do. This is what happens in these sessions. Do you want to work with me? And that's the starting place. It's just like offering the hand. Like we talked about with Nikki, the invitation. It's just again and again offering the invitation day by day. You can offer literally the same invitation to the same service in a bit of different ways, but like you can talk about it every day.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be online every day, but like frequently.
Yeah.
Have referral, like, like maybe a referral program or something like that that also helps, because you can also market, like putting up posters and things like that. But what's going to differentiate you is you owning that this is beyond a photo shoot. Yes, you're going to have these beautiful photos and like here's the examples of that, but it's so much deeper than that.
Yeah.
Here's what happens in these sessions,
Mm-hmm.
energetically, tangibly, and what unfolds from that. And it's going to be a practice, like seeing it as a practice of yeah, like you you owning what you do, you expressing what you do, being open to work with people and receive, and let that get like this offering get established. And then you can start to brainstorm other ways that you'd like to work with people as well if you want. Or you can do, like how much are you charging for the sessions right now?
Um, so my lowest offering is 675, and that's for 10 images. And then I have an offering that's 975. Is it 975? But you get like 40 images. So I'm really trying to funnel people to that middle offering because it's such a good value. You're getting so many more photos for less. So,
And you have a higher one too.
and then I have a higher one that's like, somebody who needs like a lot of photos, who wants to have multiple outfits, multiple different locations. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
so that's, you know, and and then I also have like embodiment ritual, which is different. It's not for business. It's more for like personal, like people going through transitions, or someone really wanting to honor like a name change or a divorce, or whatever it is. That's more for like personal. And that is more like, there's like an altar and an opening and a closing, um, which I can also do as well. But it just sometimes it's hard because it's like there is a lot of overlap, because there might be somebody like, oh, I want that, and I'm also a facilitator. It's like, so I feel like these offerings are very similar, but also I don't want to rule out people who are like acupuncturists and massage therapists, people who have like tangible offerings that they need documented. But then there's going to be people like you who like just, want embodied photos. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, what I'm hearing is that your offers are super clear.
Yeah, it's mainly having the time and energy now to be able to actually share about what it is that I'm doing. I haven't had the capacity to sell or to I like the word that you use, invite. I think that feels more aligned to me than selling, and I do still think that there's some shadow stuff around selling and putting myself out there, but I like that. It's like an invitation, It's just putting your hand out of like, you want to join me. Um, and and I also, another thing I think will be important for me too is to get comfortable talking and showing my face and speaking to these offerings, because I'm a deep person, but I'm also silly as fuck. And like, I love making people laugh and like just
I,
just having a good time, and I like want people to feel my warmth and my energy, because I think that's going to attract the people who I'm really meant to work with. So, um,
yeah,
yeah.
I agree with that. Also, knowing you, that's been some of the biggest feedback I've gotten is what drew people to me was that quality. Like over the years when I hear people be like, "Oh, well this is what first like made me feel drawn a bit was that quality." So I think that that's really like from my own personal experience, that's a gift.
Hmm.
Like that's a gift. And so again, all of this is just going to be a practice. You're probably the capacity piece. There's a few different things. Like, I mean, if you're wanting to like show your face and talk and you're feeling called to that, not everyone needs to do that. I just want to say this for everybody here. Some people never talk to the camera, and that's great. And you don't have to if that's what you're called to do. But some people, if you do feel called to it, I know for me, making a talking video takes about 1/10 of the time as writing. And so again, just letting it be like this practice of it, like like marketing gets to be just a practice of expression, another way of
Hmm.
creating art, and selling is inviting. That can take some of the pressure off, but it's like building this skill and this habit of that expression of talking about the work that you love, that you believe in, and sharing like the things that you know and experience, and letting yourself be silly on camera and then like watching your video back and being like, I'm so fun. So let yourself start to it'll feel like wobbly at first, but you get into it and it starts to become more and more comfortable.
Yeah,
Let yourself be awkward, let it be cringe, let it be uncomfortable. Like let yourself feel the sensations of like, oh, this is like whatever comes up. But your offerings are clear. Yeah, and I could see this expanding into you doing like, retreat photography, event photography.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and being like really established. Like even doing one of these shoots a week would be really powerful. Like getting to that point of like one a week would be great income.
totally. Yeah.
And is with
Yeah.
capacity now that you're not in cubicle deathland. Yeah.
Yeah, it's helpful. Thank you.
Getting some good feedback in the chat too.
I know from experience
Oh.
here too, like I know you all have such like a rich network of people who are interested and would be interested in these kind of offerings, and that just kind of like ripples out that web. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, that kind of photography is super in demand. So yeah, I'm really excited for you. I think this is great.
Cool.
How are you feeling?
Yay. I feel I feel excited. And I can just feel like some of my inspiration coming back online, and like I am gonna reach out to our community and just, send a mass email to people being like, hey, like I'm done working and for the man and would love your support, whether that means, because I think sometimes it feels really vulnerable to ask, but just to say like this is how you can support me, like, support me on social media or sign up for my newsletter or all of these different things, just like giving people options,
Yeah.
I think would help
And
because
invite them to your offerings too.
yes, definitely. Yeah,
Invite
totally.
and you selling is reciprocal. So
Yeah,
yes, there's like a support, but it's also like, and I want to support you,
yeah,
you know? Um, yeah, yeah. One other thing I'll share too that could help with this practice of expression and the content and the invitations. Something that helps me when I'm singing. When you sing, do you feel that twinge of like excitement and nervousness, and it's like all wrapped up in the same thing?
hmm,
You kind of
yeah,
like access like the excitement and the heart of it.
Yeah.
and like the art form of it. Start like applying that kind of energy to this form of creation as well.
Mm,
Like,
yeah.
sure, it's two sides of the same coin. That excite. Did I say corn?
I like corn.
I know. I'm just having so many memories right now of all the giggles. So much fun was had. Okay, anyway, yeah, the two sides of the same coin. Anyway,
Yeah.
excitement, nervousness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I made a post today that felt like a little just like, oh, there's like a little bit of a, contraction of like, oh, I'm using my words. Okay, here we go. Here they go into the world. But yeah, I think I'm trying to also just, like you said, embrace the cringe and like, you know,
God, it was great.
thank you.
That was my immediate reaction was like art. I love this. This is beautiful.
Thank you.
When you were talking? No.
Hmm?
The
No,
post
no,
Okay.
no.
post.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
cool. Well, thank you so much. This is helpful and yay, I'm excited.
I'm really happy for you. Yeah, when you write that email, like, yeah, say what you just said. Hey, I quit working for the man. Like, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with sales a lot of times it's like we kind of like it's like we're like normal people and then we have to sell something and we're like, welcome to where I sell an offer. I am now a robot. I now don't know
Not
how.
sure what to do with my hands.
Do you want to work with me? Do you want to pay me? I can be paid. I have offer. Here is offer. That kind of thing. And it's just like we get to like observe that and that's fine, right? That's okay. But it gets to just like there's no right way. There's no like perfect call to action. There's no like what's the thing that's going to get them to buy. It's just like as you are inviting, talking about your work, it really gets to be very simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yay.
Thank
Yay.
you. It's helpful.
Yeah, I'm glad. Nicole, do you want
I
to
could, yeah, I could go next.
it?
Um, well, I feel like I am something I'm noticing recently is like I do a lot of one-on-one work and that's kind of like the bulk of my income. Just like for the other folks here, like I do somatic coaching and somatic craniosacral therapy work. And so a lot of it is in person. And I do have some people on Zoom, people who like find me who like don't live locally. But I get like a lot of my clients either from like referrals, like from friends or from other like professionals and colleagues and stuff, or um like a lot of people like find me like just like with Google searches who are looking for like a local practitioner, you know? And so um I think that I want to like I have done over the years like different kinds of group offerings and some different online offerings. And like I think I want more that's like more diversity than, just one-on-one as far as like really like bringing income in. There's also the fact that like we're trying to get pregnant right now. Like I'm trying to get pregnant and so there's like a lot of unknown of like the timeline of that and also hopefully when like I can get pregnant and then when we have a baby, like I'm gonna take some time off and like go back slowly. Like it would be really great to have first of all to have Amanda like explode in her income. And secondly to like to be able to have some things that like work well for that amount of input that I can do at that time and that can like align with having a baby and um so yeah, and then I'm also kind of just holding like the constant like growth into different areas. Like I have, I feel like sometimes I feel like there's almost like I mean, and this makes sense, but there's almost feels like there's like a lag of like there's the people that I end up working with and Um, some people feel like super aligned and exciting to work with, and then some feel like less aligned to work with. But there can also be this thing of like, I kind of have to work with anyone who comes because I need the money. So trying to kind of work with that piece and like, who do I really want to work with? And then also like wherever I'm kind of growing or like my growth edges of what I'm really excited about, sometimes it feels like there's like a gap between like what I'm really excited about and then like um people who are like kind of at the beginning of like learning how to just resource their nervous systems and I just like want to go so deep, and so I think I'm noticing that. And I'm also, yeah, I guess I speak about that in like getting more into grief work, and I kind of can see like future areas where I might land, getting like more with working with grief and with death. And also I do a lot, I've been getting deeper into like relational work, like somatically, like working with people around like the patterns that arise within relationship with others in the body. Because like I think when I try to feel into the vision, like I envision just like people and our communities coming back to being able to be founded in relationship, like relationship, the ability to be in relationship with other people and with ourselves and with nature is like so fractured. And I feel like that's like a really important place for me to like that I believe in. So like that's like a big part of my own life, like community and like being able to like have conflict resolution and like find safety in each other. And then I do like some ecosomatic offerings as well. So sometimes I feel like, yeah, I'm like evolving and I feel sometimes kind of spread out, but I also feel like there's some unifying force and trying to trust like how I'm evolving. But yeah, and it's kind of, and then I think there's like this wound as I like, kind of go in and out. Sometimes I like kind of take a break from being online because, like I said, I get a lot of people who like are more like local referrals, and I don't always know that like my efforts online are like having direct like sales. I do feel like my online presence is better. It's like helpful for like the retreats that I've done and like kind of more the group spaces and our local community I'm very connected to online. But there's like a belief of just like I'm not like I don't have like there's not a magneticness in me that will like draw people in, and there's not like a deep like there's my purpose, and when I land there like then like everything's gonna kind of show up. There's like something that I'm really feeling around that, and just like I don't matter and what I have to offer doesn't matter. So that's sort of like the deep wound that is like in the last couple of days that I've been really kind of meeting with. So I'll just pause there. I'm open to whatever feels helpful.
This is all really, really good. Um, so yeah, that Tinder piece that you're tending to, keep tending to it, like that's gonna open up a lot of clarity and open up a lot of energy and open up a lot of like I think some perspective shifts. Um
Yeah.
yeah, I mean from my perspective outside looking in, right? What I'm seeing, I'm like there is a whole like body of work that's right here, that can be created in ways that help, yeah, have a lot more space in your life and more money coming in too. Um, I think these Tinder places, it's the foundation. Like that's the foundation of what to work with. Keep doing that. I know you're so good at like, this is your work and this is who you are, right?
Mhm.
But I think you could totally create either like I heard you say three different things that I'm like, this could be, you could have a balance of doing both more like in person deep support, and you could have courses that require a little bit less of your energy because you can work well. It's like there's like that contained support that helps, right? There's like and a group facilitation that helps with it. So people can have really powerful deep experiences, but it's like there's more of like a support system and a channeling. I heard you say, working with people to resource their nervous systems. That could be a course that you create once and just keep selling forever. And you can direct people to that. If they're kind of in the starting stage, instead of working with them one on one, you could direct people to that.
Yeah, I actually have a course that I made like a year and a half ago, and it's pretty
Okay.
in depth.
Yeah.
And I have some clients that use it, and I have some random sales that happen, but and I'm kind of like it's in there for me of like I want to do like a deeper, like dive into, selling that soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, great. You have that check. It's done. It's there.
Yeah.
Let's lean into that. You know what I mean? Um, because it doesn't have to be a thing where you're working with one on one with everyone and they're going through that. There could be an option where they're just doing that. It's just that. I really feel I actually was thinking about this a couple days ago because I've been seeing more of your talking posts come up and I was like Nicole's so good at these.
I've been doing them more recently because, like you said, they take so little time, and I'm feeling like trying to make this transition when I get busy with my one-on-one clients, which is good because I'm making money. I don't have time to like build these other pieces. So I'm trying to kind of be smart about like being like super honest and authentic while also being able to not have it take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, good. Like you're going in that direction. I mean, you can be selling, you can talk about this course more frequently in those offers. Put a
Yeah.
little plug at the end, put a little plug in your caption. You don't have to be doing like a ton of stories or anything like that. Just create these talking videos because that's how you build. I mean, it's first of all like sales 101 is just building trust, providing value, people being like, oh my gosh, this resonates with me. I love hearing this person talk. I want to receive from this person. Like this was like it would benefit me. And you having that invitation of like, okay, here's that way. And there has to be like, you know, a lot of times when we're shifting our experience, we have to start like letting some energy start to go like dissipate from the places where it's not so much serving us anymore. So start noticing, cool, maybe like I start sending more clients to that versus taking on more and more one-on-one clients. Maybe I
Hmm.
start letting my one-on-one be a little more refined for the person that I really want to work with. Um, yeah, maybe I hold a bit of a like, yeah, just like have different options and yeah, taking care of yourself in that way. Clearing up your energy a little more, saying, actually, I have this many clients I can work with instead of this many clients I can work with one on one, and here's different options to work with me. Sending people to a course that already exists. That doesn't take any more work from you besides just telling people it exists
Yeah.
because it's already
Yeah.
made. And then eventually maybe you're also making containers and programs for, like the death and grief work. Maybe you have a space that's directly around that. Maybe you have a space that's directly around the relationship pieces. And then all of these pieces can also funnel into your retreats. Those can start to be really established. I know they're already established. Like they've been doing really well from what I've been able to see. And but this is just like it's creating options like you're saying, and
Hmm.
working with those tender places will open up the energy, but it's also like taking, starting to be like, actually I need to start limiting this and sending the energy where, and you're already doing
Yeah.
it, so it's like just keep doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm even thinking of like maybe taking like one day where I like currently have open for one-on-one clients and just starting to be like for like test it out. What's it like if I just make that day not open for one-on-one clients? Just take one day away kind of thing could be helpful because especially we moved a little farther from town, like where my office is. So now it's like when I drive and I like go into my office, it's like a totally different day than if I like can be home.
Yeah.
um as far as like what like the creative energy that I'm in and like being able to tend to myself and everything. And I guess I just have one other question, when I first offered the course, I had it as like, lifetime access and that access. And now I have like an option as well as like a monthly subscription. And I have like some people, that will do either one. And I guess I'm just curious, like I did that because I wanted for it to be like easier access and also because I think some people are like hesitant to if they like never have met me or worked with me to like invest like the full amount into like the lifetime access versus like the monthly subscription. So I'm just curious like if you have any feelings about that or at all.
Maybe let me look at it really quickly. So so this is basically comparing Refuge versus the self-paced somatic journey toolkit.
Yeah, the somatic journey toolkit I've got on there, like there's like a monthly subscription option that has like two different prices, like a sliding scale, and then there's like a lifetime access that you can just buy it in full. And there's two different prices, like a sliding scale for that as well. And yeah, so just curious. Do you have any thoughts about that?
How are you feeling about your prices with this offering?
I feel okay. I like um I I think I'm finding it a little hard to find like the balance between the two of like, oh, like how many months of like a monthly subscription would make it like the value of like buying it in full, or whatever, if that makes sense. So I know like I think it could be like maybe a little higher, but I feel like I have mixed feelings about it.
I think my read on it, and decide if this resonates with you, is there might be clearer ways of helping them access something that's going to give them that confidence and trust in your work. Um, and maybe instead of like a monthly subscription, offering just like here's a pay in full or a payment plan.
Yeah.
It just it might make it a bit easier, more clear, and it's like it also I feel like would be a practice of you like yeah having that like confidence in the pricing of
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's kind of where I started. It was like pay in full or monthly subscription. And then I like later on added the sorry, payment plan or buy it in full. And then I ended up later adding the monthly subscription in. But, I've, wondered if I wanted to go back because I feel like now more people go to the monthly subscription and less people pay it in full. So, yeah.
Wait, say that again. More people went to the monthly subscription and less people.
Yeah, like more people go to the monthly subscription, which you can just like cancel at any time. And then like less people like, will just pay and buy it.
When
Either
you're
either a monthly payment, like or buy it in full, like but it's like lifetime access. Like once you start the payment, like you're in.
yeah, how many people are doing the monthly subscription and then canceling it?
I've had, like some people do that. Like yeah.
Yeah, I think that's also just like a lot more logistics to deal with.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it can be a
Maybe and it might be like too many options.
yeah, it might be too many options, and I honestly think that price point is super fair to just
Yeah.
have like a payment plan or
Right. Yeah.
um but I think that the biggest pieces for you here are like the offer's clear, the work is good and solid. Maybe there's a little bit of cleaning up around like the structure of the offer. But it's yeah, like you're saying, starting to take away some energy. Like I had to do that over the course of time, being like, okay, actually, I'm not going to do calls on this days. Okay, I'm not like at this point, I don't do calls on Mondays or Fridays.
Hmm.
And um, yeah, and then I keep my calls to like one or two a day on those middle days, right?
Yeah.
But that was over time. Like at first, I was on a lot of calls, like a lot of calls, So like slowly starting to take away that energy and channel it towards more the group offerings. And then also being like, okay, if the space is there and it's solid, now the gap is that like the showing up on socials, keeping doing that, and then telling people about it.
Yeah.
and just keep doing that. Keep doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think part of it is like a commitment to like, I really want to sell more of that course. So like
Yeah.
let me, and our lives have got really crazy last year and I kind of had to pull a lot of energy away from my business for a while. So I'm gradually like easing back into the deep showing up deeper for each layer that's there again. But yeah, I think it'll be time soon to start to show up for that more.
Good. I'm happy.
Yay.
Yeah, we have seasons.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
well, I'm happy to see you both.
Yeah,
I'm
thanks so much. I appreciate it.
really excited for this chapter for both of you. It's big things.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Pretty cool. All right. Who would like to go next? Jenny. Do you prefer Jenny or Jennifer? The hell?
Oh, sorry.
There we go. You're
Like
good.
technologically dysfunctional. I prefer Jenny. Yeah, it does it show up as Jennifer on here?
Does, but I in my
Oh,
head, no.
yeah. Yeah, I never go by Jennifer except when my mom's mad at me is when the name comes out. Yeah, so I feel very expanded by all of you who have shared so far and everyone that I've heard from. Because I still currently work for the man, as you can see, I'm in an office. But the goal, is to figure out how to support myself from my art. I am alone in here, so um, I was happy that I would be able to join the call today. But yeah, so I think the main thing that I am working through right now and struggling with is I feel like I have a lot of ideas and creativity and energy to put towards my art and towards my business. But obviously, working a full-time job, it's like very difficult to find spaces of time and um, just with everything else in life with like partnership and friendships and it kind of took me a while to like build up really like strong relationships in my life since college and everything, so that's like very important to me, and I know like how it can get if I don't prioritize those, but I think it's just like difficult. I feel very stuck in my current position, because I also have a lot of wounds around money from my upbringing and just like money struggles and um yeah, really just like scarcity mindset and having a difficult time believing that I can move past like that typical conventional job with a stable income. It's like there's definitely I'm starting to believe it like more and more. Like the more I make money from my art and the more that I'm able to sell things and the more people respond to my work and um but it still just feels very slow. And then with having like so much energy like towards creativity and art and business, but like so little time in my day to really like invest in it, it just feels like it's never gonna get there because I don't have enough space to like really invest like the energy and focus that I want to into it. And then I think like the last piece is just that like um I think I feel a lot of resentment because of that. So it's like because the way that I work is like I will just get like hits of inspiration and like it's like I just have the energy to do it and then I do it and then it's kind of gone. So like if like I'm working or like doing something else in my life, sometimes it feels like that energy passes and then it maybe won't show up again like for a while. And I'm also kind of like experiencing a lot of burnout right now. So I know that was kind of a lot, but yeah, it feels like I'm in a very like beginning phase and like it's like yeah, I just feel I'm starting to feel the belief like very strongly. It's just like I'm like very impatient and kind of like, okay, like, and wanting to like streamline things and like clear those blocks. But I also have ADHD. So I'm just like, the organization and structure is just like not really there right now.
Okay, great. Okay. So I know you have the vision, and this is not a lot. I just want to tell you, this is literally why you're here.
Okay.
So
Thank
leave. You are receiving.
you.
You are receiving. Okay. I know you have the vision for like the in-person space. What's more of the short term? Like, what would
Yeah.
it look and feel like? Like, what do you imagine for, getting yourself to the work being like, cool, I can live off of this? Because that's always the first goal, right? That's the first goal, and it's
Yeah.
a worthy goal. It is.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So right now my goal is to be able to make a full-time income off of my art. So like just selling art. And like I do have a lot of like people around me and in the sphere that like I see doing that, but I think there's a block there sometimes because it just seems like even like those people are like putting so much time and energy and effort and like to the point of like burnout to even sustain like what they have going on, even if they are able to make the full-time income from their art. So I think there's a block there because like I'm trying to get more to like online sales because I kind of burnt out from like doing markets last year. And even then, like I didn't make anywhere near enough to like fully support myself off of that. But it was to me, it was like a big step because it was more than I had ever made. Like I kind of like had just started like really trying to sell my art last year. But yeah, so that's the first step is just like making art from like online sales, markets, in person. And like I did help somebody with like a logo design and you know, I've kind of got into the mindset of like I could do because like I helped out with my friend's baby shower and I made some like art pieces for that and that was all obviously just like it was just free. It was for my friend, but I would be open to like trying to get into something like that where I'm making pieces specifically um for like an event or something like that, but I just haven't really gotten that off the ground yet.
Okay. So there is a truth to things like, especially while still working a job and everything, it feeling like drudgingly slow,
Mm-hmm.
you know? um, and then you're like, I'm feeling burnt out from working. That was my experience too. I was burnt out from my relationship with work for a long time. And so I made this declaration and promise to myself. I had no idea how this was going to happen, but that like I was not going to be working in my business from a place of like perpetuating burnout.
Mm-hmm.
And it meant that like a lot of advice just didn't work for me. A lot of ways of doing things didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And almost 8 years later, like I've never once burnt out because of my business ever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I burnt out for other reasons though. But anyway, that's a different story. Um, anyway, so it's gonna ask you to get creative, right? And it's also gonna ask you to be. I know it's terrifying, and I know it's really scary. Um, keep work doing your like the money work and tending to that because that's going to be a really solid foundation. That was the biggest like gap for me. Am I coming through okay? It said my Wi-Fi is unstable. Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, okay. But yeah, keep doing the money, keep tending to the money work. That was the biggest gap for me. Like when I quit my job was waking up in the middle of the night scared about finances. It was
Yeah.
very, and that's why I really devoted a lot of time and energy to that. You might there might come a time where when I've seen people transitioning out of full-time careers into their more like their callings, their hard work, all of that kind of stuff, sometimes it helps to stair step and be like, cool, I'm actually, and it's humbling. It's humbling, but like be like, cool, I am gonna have a part-time job. I'm gonna do, like I went from being an engineer to like like I'll just do whatever.
Oh,
Oh, her Wi-Fi. Oh, she's back.
Okay, I don't know. I just joined on my phone really quickly because it cut off on my computer. Let me actually just, I don't know why that happened. So hopefully, um, but yeah, it was extremely humbling to go from I'm an adult doing these adult things to like, no, I'm trying to be this. Like, I don't know. Um, it was very humbling, but like it's a necessary initiation is taking that step. Um, and that's where doing the money healing work will help with that. But it's also like it's a blend of inner work and taking little steps at the same time. Um, yeah, I can definitely see how, like, in order for you to not burn out and just be constantly like creating, and like hustling around and all this kind of stuff, is online is a great way to go. Is working with expanding your reach, getting more followers, getting more people interested in your work, having those different options of like doing work for businesses, doing work for, having your also having your work like listed on your own website. Eventually, those can be really good things. Um, yeah, the logos, prints, um, yeah, commissioned works. Like it's just about building up like your visibility, building up like your offers, um, maybe eventually like, you know, raising your prices a bit, especially if you're working with like some businesses and stuff like that. Um, yeah, and then eventually maybe you can start because you do want to have like an in-person space. Like, do you see yourself supporting like teaching art, anything like that as well?
I have thought about that. Like, I do think in the future that is something that I would like to do or could do. I just think right now, like, I already feel a little like there's too much like interaction. I don't know. Because I tried teaching meditation for a while and I really loved it, but it also was like extremely draining for me. So yeah, I think that's something that in the future when I have more like freedom of my time, I could yeah, look into that and add that
Yeah,
as a piece.
yeah, yeah. I think right now it's like eventually you're going to have to take that step of like releasing this so that you have more space and energy, because it's not like, especially if you're already feeling burnt out,
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, just work more.
Right.
Like that's not going to help. So eventually it's taking away the energy that's going towards something else that's not, like that would be the first step that would open up a lot of energy. But that might mean like, I don't know the ins and outs of your finances and everything right now. Like it might mean, okay, I need to work for another year and really focus on saving. It might like there's a lot of different things that it could mean.
Mhm.
It could mean, all right, I need to decrease my expenses in these ways. Like there's a lot of pieces that go into it, but it's like keep doing what you're doing with sharing online, especially if you're like, I am really moving towards having this be a business where I'm being really supported and not burning out. And that feels like online is a really great way to do that. Create as
Yeah.
much content as you can, keep reaching people, putting as much energy into it as you can.
Hmm.
Like I was just doing like little bits here and there. Like I wrote my Instagram posts on my lunch break.
Yeah.
Um, I did a little bit of like research here and there when nobody was looking about how to start a podcast. And I did that for 3 years before I ever started my business.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
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 In grad school and then in like actual like working, I for 3 years was posting daily
Yeah.
consistently before I started.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the one thing I am grateful for right now is that my current position, my bosses are very flexible. So it's that has helped a lot because they trust me. Like I am able to take like little moments here and there and I work from home some days. So it's that has been super helpful. But yeah, I think my fear has been, or like what I've been avoiding like accepting is like what you said. I am just gonna have to take that leap at some point. And like, I'm still getting there with like trusting myself, like trusting like you said, saving and but yeah, it's helpful to hear that like because I've kind of been trying to, I think, look for like a loophole or like there's gotta be some quick
No,
thing I can do. And
no.
it's like, yeah, no, just gotta stay the course and
I
eventually
went I went pretty cold turkey. Like I did have a large following, so that was helpful.
yeah.
But my first offer was $15, and it took me quite a while. Like it felt like a while to get to the point where I was like, okay, I'm making like something livable from this because I posted consistently, built a following for 3 years. When I quit my job, I had maybe $1,000 saved. When I tell you, um, yeah, that was stressful, right? That was very stressful. And yeah, it was definitely like the biggest piece was like getting used to like I thought it would eventually go away. I said this at the beginning of the call, like the uncertainty, but you just get used to it. That's what it actually is. Like you
Mhm.
have more evidence, but you still have to constantly rely on your own creation and your own trust in yourself and your own
Yeah.
um because you can't just rely on like even once you have tons of evidence, like at first you're just relying on other people's evidence because you don't have any, you know.
Yeah.
But eventually you have your own evidence, but you still have to rely on that self-trust, and you also have just developed a capacity to be with uncertainty.
Yeah. Mm.
But yeah, I know that whole like, oh well, eventually you're just gonna have to go for it. It's terrifying, but like most people don't make it past that point.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that's I feel like that's one of the biggest milestones is just being like, I'm going for it.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like this I am in a place where I feel like it took me a long time even to get to like fully like saying out loud I want to have a business, like saying out loud I'm an artist, saying out loud like this is what I'm going for and this is what I want for my life. So I think I feel a little bit better having like crossed that step. But yeah, um I think actually like backing it up with tangible action now and is which I have a little bit of, but yeah, like getting more of those pieces in place is yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, thank you. It's all very helpful and
Yeah. Good. I'm happy to hear that.
some good examples in this group.
Yeah. It'll build over time. Your trust in yourself, the self-worth, the confidence, like that all takes time. I remember telling people like, "Oh, I am like it was so bizarre like explaining to people what I did and I felt so like yeah, just not sure in it and that builds over time.
Yeah, for sure.
Good job.
You.
Happy you're here. Good to see you. Okay. Let me see here. I'm on my phone now, so my computer never came back. It's weird. Um, Narissa, would you like to go?
All right. I was like, oh my gosh, I there's so much information I'm receiving from this that I'm like everyone is like answering a little question, answering a little question, answering a little question. Um, it's so good to see
It's so good to see you too.
you. And I'm making lunch over here, balancing my vata. Um, I feel like what has just been coming up for me or showing itself to me is like, one sec, sorry. Cucumber! Oh my God. I have been working on my nervous system since I moved back with my parents. It's been kind of hard. But
I just feel a strong calling to return to your work, Melissa. I'm hoping to connect with one of the offerings after this container closes, and yeah, I feel like I'm noticing like a call to ritual. I have slowly, and I'm also trying to formulate like a bit of like where I'm at in a question. I definitely think I'm still sitting with the big vision and then trying to connect with the timelines. I feel like everything came through in 2020 of like I'm a Capricorn, so it was like the whole thing like from now till death just came through. Like it was like, okay, you're doing this. But and then I wound up getting in a relationship that totally dismantled me, and so I think I learned a lot about partnership through that and how like having a good partner is really important. So it's something I hope to have in the next few years. Like also, especially being like a tiny bodied person, I'm like 4'11" and like really like tiny. So like it can be very hard to regulate my nervous system on my own. CBD is like definitely my best friend. And but yeah, I'm in a place of like I think really like similar to Jen and then like Amanda, I think your photography offerings are something that were coming through. I find that my skills as a projector woman, I'm projector 6'2", which is hermit role model. So I have to be like it's important for me to like I think be clear with what I'm teaching, and then provide offerings accordingly. So like one-to-ones and group containers really resonate with me. I have just been in a place of like this year, I'm wanting to increase my income from 425 a month from my study teaching job to be yeah, and like I think I am doing the inner work right now to I want to make 5,000 a month, and then like how do I take what I've already created and for this starting point of like April 2026 like make it a little easier on myself, because I definitely connected with my cycle a lot now, and I know like okay, follicular and ovulatory I'm like this, and like let's start to like create a pattern with that. And like discipline is really important to me, and honoring and like rehab honoring and seeing my masculine side as like supportive is like where I'm at. So yeah, it's more like where I'm at right now. I'm receiving so much, and I don't think I have a question other than like, when can I start working with you?
This is great. This is so good. This is so good. Um, yeah, what I'm really getting from you, Narissa, I'm so happy you're here too, is that obviously I've known you for quite a while, so like I know you. And for context, Narissa was in one of my very, very first offerings ever. So yeah, so we go back. Yeah, you're spot on because I feel like, and if this is coming up um like partnership coming into your life, um yeah, those like more structural, like the medicine for you right now, because you have so much creative, expansive, flowing energy, right? Like I know you're the kind of person who's like, I could just create,
Yeah,
and that balance that's being asked, right? And you can like be very like um be very like like
I think I'm
yeah,
sacral.
like what?
I think I'm sacral projector, so it's all like the sexual energy. It's all the like orange.
Yeah, you have a lot of like yeah, just like moving energy. So it's really the medicine and the things that are going to support and help like ground that into the physical form, like you're saying, or the things like the clarity of direction, following through, the consistency, the like kind of like it might feel boring to your system a bit too, or like because you're used to like the potency and the like newness and all of that, but of like completion, like you're saying, the routine, like grounding it. Cool, here's my next step, here's my next step, here's my next step, here's one small part of the vision that I can focus on right now. Like focus more like taking this vision and just like being like, cool, I'm here. Here I am. Um, yeah, those are the things that will really like choosing one offer right now, focusing on that for a while. Um, those are the things that will really help take all of this and like bring it more here.
Yeah, I'm like, as I'm listening to you, I'm like, I should get a dog. I'm like, why don't I have a dog? I wanted one for like a while. I'm like, okay. Uh, but like I live,
Yeah.
it's literally because I live with my parents and they're over dogs is the only reason I don't have a dog. But all
Yeah.
of this is like a dog, a big
Yeah.
one.
Okay, a big dog. Yeah, totally. That'll help with that like that existing in the world energy and routine for sure. But yeah, but like continuing
I'm
to apply
listening.
that to your work. Continuing to apply that to your work. And being like, cool. Yeah, what's my next step? What's the current offer? Who is this for? Like more structure, more support so that all of that energy has somewhere to go and can actually like really land.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, and about working together, just let me know.
Yeah.
I'm ready when you
You're,
are.
I'm also like feeling Colorado vibes so much. Like y'all are so like the energy's so different there. Jersey, New York is like
Yeah. Yeah.
um
And with the
yeah.
partnership piece, that was something that like really changed for me in the last year. Um, yeah, I haven't I've only shared this a little bit on Instagram. I've been sharing it more on Threads. I'm on Threads lot right now,
Oh yeah, yeah.
everybody. But yeah, like I understand that feeling of like having like my solid person and how that like completely like it's completely changed my life in so many ways. And I did a we met um gosh in
Quickly.
like late summer, and before that I did like 6 months of like really intensive looking at myself and like reworking my patterns. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's really changed my whole life and my nervous system and like everything. It's been really incredible. So yeah, and yeah, before that I had a couple of pretty wonky things going on. So like, yeah, I understand.
I entered one of Taj's containers, your
Hmm.
friend, and that helped me. I did it like in November or last November, and that helped me so much to reset my like what I'm looking for and like all of that. And
Great.
yeah, I think our generation like it's like we have to do this like learning so much of like how to value ourselves and like take our time also getting to know people so yeah, but I think it's going to take, I don't know, 6 to 12 months for me to date again,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, I'm happy you're here. It's good to see you.
You too.
Yeah. All right. Okay, Denise, how you doing?
Hey, it's so good to listen to you all, and it really helped me to, yeah, also get answers for myself and also actually to first. I often go first, and today I was like, no, I need some people before I go to, warm up and feel a little bit more cozy because I was so overwhelmed the last days. So thank you so much for sharing. And also I'm happy to now receive your guidance as well. So. What came through the whole time with where I'm at right now, just like tuning in, is that I feel my biggest thing is to just fucking really trust myself because so I'm also working with Molly. I know that she's a good friend of you, or yeah, I'm in her space since 2 years in different settings. So I'm really like, really into her work and just in sync with her and the way she's working, which is so insane. And she said in our last circle, like, Denise, you are like, you can trust yourself so good and you have clarity and you just need to be witnessed. So where I am at right now is just to like give. I've been feeling a Molly call too. Yeah, go for it if you feel it. I mean, I resonate with her deeply. Anyway, so um, so just to give a little context, so I started my first business, I think 3 or 4 years ago, and my nervous system crashed like 3 or 4 times throughout the whole years. So basically, now I feel I'm starting the first time in a way that I truly feel okay, I can, and I truly want to focus on business instead of, cleaning things up or I don't know what else I was doing, like all the things. So, I almost feel right now like I'm in a cocon and just like 3 to 4 weeks before this butterfly is just like flying around. And I'm just now realizing that I like my mind is like, Denise, you had like, I'm working with a woman right now for 1 year and she's not paying me. We are doing an exchange, so she is giving me her work. And it's so insanely beautiful. So, my favorite way to receive my income soon is to have two women working one-on-one with for a year. And then having the space besides them to focus on my poetry and also dance and songs, but like the poetry is coming through really, like really profoundly. Um, so my mind is like a little bit like, yeah, but it's not possible to have like those two women and then, everything is set because the price that's coming through is 3,800 a month for each of them. So basically, if I have two women for 1 year, this is like my income is just set, for the whole time. But when I just go into my body and my heart, it's like, Denise, you just need to do what you are doing all the time and trust yourself, go into nature and really focus on yourself and, be with your close friends, but also right now just be a lot of time alone and I feel I need to just also realize what happened in the last 10 years because I did so much inner work. I was suicidal for most of the time, my whole life. And just a few months ago, it really clicked and clicked and clicked, and it's not resonating with me anymore. So it's a completely new sensation of my life because I'm like, wow, I'm still here and I'm so happy that I'm here. And every day feels like the biggest gift. So I almost feel I just really need to lay on the earth and talk with the earth and then just do what I was doing. So I have a podcast and I'm just gonna do a whole new, rebrand because yeah, I just feel like a fucking new person. Um, and then when it comes to how to receive my clients, I have an Instagram, but it was not focused on business. I mostly share my dance and my poetry. And then like the things are always coming into my life. Like when I go out, I always meet people. So I actually feel I'm gonna meet my clients when I'm in a cafe and then I just talk with them. Or a person knows me and I post something on my WhatsApp, which is my private number. And then someone is coming and this is how it feels.
So yeah, that's a little summary. Thank you. I feel messy, and I know you got me. Um, yeah, so I really feel it's about trusting and also really giving myself the space to be with myself and knowing that it's not isolating, that it's actually connecting with myself in this season because the earth is right now for holding a lot of just like being there holding me. Yeah.
Yeah, this is really beautiful. I want to look, can I look at your social media and podcast? What's your tag?
So my
Or your-
Instagram is my name but without the Vivian, so it's only Denise Porewski.
Okay. Will you spell it for me? I just, since I'm on my phone, it's a little harder.
Oh
P-O-L.
yeah. So it's you have my first name?
Mm-hmm.
So then it's
R. Okay.
Poreb.
I found you. I found you. Great. Okay. So tell me more about these clients. Who is this person
You mean the woman I want to work with or I'm working
that
with?
you want to work with? Yeah.
So the person I want to work with is the one who basically she knows exactly what she wants and she just needs someone who allows her to dream really big and who is not, putting the dreams down. And then to also meet her where she's at right now. So she has the tendency to understand everyone else and then not really like she understands herself, but she's not owning it fully. So she wants to be witnessed and needs to be witnessed because there is actually a lot of clarity on what she wants and also a lot of understanding, and she's like really fast. So the most important thing is like she is allowed to dream really big, and this is like expanding her and just giving her the space to really understand what she wants. And then she needs the permission to really follow her own intuition and to understand her body better. So I support her to understand what's going on in the body and also in her mind better and like why things are, you know, just like being like, hey, you feel shame right now and I understand and what we can do with it. And then I guide her. Um, and then there is also sometimes struggle in what she really wants. Like she knows what she wants and what the goal is, but sometimes she thinks, oh, I want to have a client right now, but in real life, she needs rest right now and she wants rest. So there's also this, what's the word? Um, like maybe like a recheck in on
Okay.
what's like the real desire is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and then she she has more permission, and through this she's just moving in actually a more slow way, which gives her more pace because she just has like more permission. So it's a lot about permission.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cool.
also like walking away, that's so different to like the norm, of course. That's what we are all doing.
Yeah. So you're working with like letting things really like come about in a very organic way, trusting yourself, owning like this is what my offering is. How do you feel about the selling of it, the sharing about it, the person coming in, the like when you meet the people in real life, inviting them in?
Like right now it still feels like I don't deserve it fully.
Okay.
There's something like I don't deserve that it's so easy. Because when it
Hmm.
actually happens, like I remember how we got this home and it was so smooth. And I tracked back the last 2 years and I realized every decision I made, I was like, I made it from a place of a yes and I can trust myself, which is really powerful. Um, so there is a voice of
I don't fully deserve it. And when I go underneath, it's more like, wow, once this is set, like I have my clients or the money, like once this area is set as well, it's the last piece missing in my life when I go to the areas. It feels like, wow, then like I will change again, and this is gonna like transform every area again. So my
Mhm.
relationships, yeah, okay, this hurts the most. I have it now. I have my tears in my eyes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The relationships.
Yeah, because I feel, yeah.
Mhm. Do you want to share what you're feeling?
Yes, so I feel that I have some connections which were so close to my heart. Um, and they carried me through like the darkest times, and they were like the most beautiful. And now I feel that it's not fitting anymore. And I almost feel, okay, this is not about we can just hang out, every once in a while. It's okay, it's complete. Like whatever was meant to be in this lifetime, it's complete.
Okay.
Um, so I've never been in those situations consciously, and I just feel there is pain, but there is also release. So I feel I just have to have a few conversations in the next weeks, um,
Mhm.
to bring clarity in, and also just to be really honest because those people are still like they're important to me, and like I care for their hearts. And of course there is grief in, yeah, letting them go and also not knowing what comes next.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I feel like your work and your practice is going to be like this is holding a space is really rich and deep. Like working with someone in this level of capacity, like you're experiencing it with the other woman, and I like can see that this is very, like to work with two clients at this level, it's going to ask you to keep like really being so attuned
Yeah.
and being what it is that you're working with these people on, and so that you can like, yeah, it becomes even more of, and this is always, there's not a completion of this, it's like a continuous process of being the embodiment of our work so that like there's that resonance and you can see it in yourself, right? And that trust in yourself, and that person, these two women can really feel it from you. Yeah. And like we were talking about at the beginning, it's not about like, oh, well, this has to all be done and complete before that happens. There's an openness, right? That's like, it's okay that I have voices come up that say I don't deserve it. It's okay that like there are some loops that aren't closed. But yeah, like that trust in yourself and that moving forward with it and taking the next step and the next step and the next step. And yeah, like you have the clarity of your vision, and now it's about like also um yeah, being like I'm willing to do my part, and keep showing up for that. And then I know like yeah, that you talked about having a dance school. There was a lot of things that you want to create, the village, all of that. So it's like like you're saying, that really deep trust with yourself, and the next step in what's letting go, what's dying, and what's being created through you, around you, moving forward, what you feel called to do. Um, with those in-person connections, really listen to where you feel called to go. I have had a lot of experiences of meeting people in person and like sometimes being like why do I feel super called to go to this place right now? And then like there's been times where that's happened and it's like I remember like I can tell like two different stories. One time I felt called to go to this women's circle. I actually wasn't gonna go. And 10 minutes before, I was like, I have to go. And I was like 5 minutes away. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just go. And if four of the people there, I didn't pitch any, like it's not like I was pitching, I was at somebody's women's circle, but four of the people there ended up becoming my clients. Another time I was in upstate New York And I was like, I need to go get a croissant at this place right now. What is happening? I have to go. And I get there and I met Gabrielle Bernstein, which was like, for anybody who doesn't know, she's like a New York best-selling author like 10 times, you know. And and that was an expanding moment for me because I want to write and be an author. And I talked to her and like, she ended up like following me on Instagram and I could feel her energy and I could see her there and be like, oh, this is an expansive moment of like meeting someone who I'm looking up to, you know, and like feeling, oh, this is possible for me too. Um, so yeah, like just like deeply attuning to your awareness and your callings and like all of that, and then continuing to take those steps. Because your business model is extremely simple. It doesn't really require that much as far as like structure, strategy, all of that. It's two onboardings and two offboardings a year. You know what I mean? That might change eventually as you have the dance school, all of that kind of stuff. But right now it's pretty simple. So it's more about like, yeah, like you already know, keeping tuning into your energy and the sources of support around you.
Yeah, thank you. I have tears in my eyes because I feel I write today like I have night here, so it was I think like at 1 p.m. I had this idea, those two women, one-on-one for a year, 3,800 a month set. And then I was like, oh, I could do two more for like once a month, and then I have something cheaper. And this is a beautiful idea, and I would love to do it in future if it still resonates. And then I could hear this voice. It was like, Denise, just focus. Focus on what's like the most, really like the most beautiful offering you want to do right now. And I could feel, when you were asking the question, and now I just spoke it out, this I don't deserve it, and then it's sinking. And right now I feel like this is actually just making my heart so happy to imagine having those two women by my side for a year and really just focusing on them and pouring my heart into them because I know how I'm working and that I'm just giving everything. And also, it will teach me a lot, of course, as well. So, yeah, it really just makes me happy, and I can already feel my shoulders dropping because I know my finances are also set then. And without knowing what exactly will happen, I know that this is just giving me so much silence that there will come more as well. And yeah, I also want to offer in future definitely things that are more cheap or also for free. So people can access who are not able to, pay something that is so a high ticket offering. Yeah, so I could just feel, seen by you and really supported. So I was like, yeah, this resonates.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad. Yeah. And keep tuning into the shadows and the fears and the resistance and allowing that to be liberated through your practice and through your yeah, like the witness that you know how to tune into. I can tell you, I've held many clients at this point for a year or more in year-long commitments, and oftentimes like there's, signing up for another year. And it is like, um, yeah, for me to this day, it still feels really big for someone to make that like decision. And so working with the parts that are afraid of responsibility or afraid of like, that's one of mine, that's one of mine that comes up, but afraid of whatever comes up. Oh, it can't be that easier. Maybe like whatever it is, and keep working with it. That will be supportive as well.
Yeah, and also, oh my gosh, I resonate so much with you with going to those spaces. Like I got the friend I'm living with, we met at this event. We both were before she was dancing the night before. I was so tired. I was like, fuck, I cannot go there today. But there was this voice, Denise, you go, you go, you go. And she then afterwards we connected and she was like, oh, you're looking for a new apartment. Do you wanna like try it out to live together? And then we lived together for like 3 months. Now we moved into the most beautiful apartment. Yeah, and I have like I decided to go to Spain, visiting my friend again, and I can feel that there is I don't know what's waiting for me, but the land is speaking to me, and always, when the land is speaking, we know what's happening.
Yeah.
So, I met like the most beautiful people. I got the most beautiful opportunities. Always just through going to the places. My heart was like, go there, go, go, go. So yeah, thank you for sharing. So I'm like, yeah, I will let you know first where I met the woman, if it was a cafe or a dance event.
I love that. This is so beautiful. Thank you, Denise. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, you all. Well, we are going to wrap up here. So, I wanted to offer this as, like I love giving these kind of offerings because it's what I love doing. And also, part of like the reciprocity is yeah, and like the offering is that invitation of if this is something that you want to continue to do, this is a very good example of what it's like to work together. This kind of call and this kind of format is what my group spaces feel like. Um, and yeah, so the options right now, I have a few long-term spots open, right? Um, and my group year-long container is called Life Giving Business. And that is the intention. That is like what we are doing is creating, building, refining that life-giving business. Um, and yeah, there's like structural components, support, all of that. But it's really like, I really feel like it's this container that's holding intention, that's holding this, there's like, it's almost like those little like tracks on when you're bowling that like hold the bowling ball in place. That's how I imagine it. It's like the container, right? It's like a cauldron that like one thing goes in and then like something else comes out of like really rich, deep embodied transformation and that you see show up tangibly in your life, right? Um, yeah, and like, the witnessing that we're talking about, I really think it's super powerful to be seen by both someone who's like holding you energetically, tangibly, as well as a group of people to be able to share and be seen. And I've just seen that again and again. And the content that's available through that year-long container is all about nurturing, working with those nutrients of a business ecosystem, and really deepening your relationship with yourself and with your business and creating organic success. So, if you're feeling called to that space or to work with me in any other capacity, and you're wanting support, right? Like my spaces really are about like rich support. And yeah, you're experiencing that and feeling it here. Yeah, there's a couple of spaces open in the different levels. So whether that be the collective, the mastermind, so the collective is the monthly calls, content, um, quarterly intensives. There's 10 spaces open that have a bonus of a onboarding as well as, yeah, then there's the mastermind that has a bit more support and there's one-on-one. So I have 3 year-long options right now that have some bonuses. I listed it all out in the like where to sign up with me, how to work with me more. If you're wanting a different option, just reach out to me and we can talk about it and figure out what's the best fit for you. Um, yeah, and if like I'll share too that if you're like, I'm feeling that clarity and that yes, it's really normal. I'm not about like pushing past financial capacity or pushing past like our no or choosing something based on, oh, this is like actually just rubbing up against my wounds. And like, I've definitely had to learn lessons on not, investing because I don't feel not enough and I thought something was going to fix me. That's not the vibe here, right? But it is normal that even with that clear, like if you feel a clear yes of wanting to work together, that it brings up a lot. There's financial exchange, there's commitment, there's like receiving, there's like this is making a declaration towards this vision that I have. So if you want to talk with me, if you want to reach out, have any shares or have any questions that will support that clarity and support that, like, cool, I feel that yes, and I'm ready to move forward, yeah, just reach out. Yeah. Okay. I'm on my phone, so I have to like look at. Ah, yay. Cool. And yeah, and if you're the kind of person who's interested in one-on-one, there's definitely some ways to do that that are like more easeful, like doing audits, things like that. Um, and then yeah, I always encourage people to like start small and step up as well. Sometimes that can be really beneficial too. All right, you all. Okay, so for the rest of this container, there's a few more trainings I have for you all. The last day of like the content will be on Friday. You all have access to everything, so it won't go away. This will just stay open, but I will turn off where like there's no more comments and things after Friday. If you have questions, if you have questions that you would like to have answered, drop them in the question box, and we'll be doing that through Friday as well. Yay! Okay, I'm so thankful for you all. This has been so great. Yeah, you all are so awesome and just like, yeah, keep it going. All right, you all, I will see you in the Telegram. I hope you have a great week and I will talk to you soon. Bye.